Hey guys. So at SolFit, we see lots of cases of plantar fasciitis coming through. And a simple Dr. Google search on plantar fasciitis, unfortunately, will lead to lots of horror stories of people that have been suffering with this condition for months or even years. However, the good news is plantar fasciitis can actually be a pretty easy thing to get rid of, especially if you catch things early. Now, not to worry if you've been dealing with this condition for a while, the same tips apply. It can just take a little bit longer for things to clear up. So let's look at plantar fasciitis. So plantar means the bottom surface of your foot. Fascia is connective tissue, and itis just means inflammation. So pain with plantar fasciitis oftentimes is at the base of the heel, at the bottom of your foot, and it's oftentimes worse when you get up after sitting for a long period of time or when you get up in the morning. So let's look at a few tips that can help to treat this injury. Diagnostically speaking, plantar fasciitis is diagnosed by pain at the base of the heel when we get up out of bed in the morning. Now, unfortunately, we're amazed by how often this first step fails to be addressed by many treatment plans and articles. And unfortunately, even the best treatment plan can oftentimes be undone by failing to address this important first step. So let's look at what happens when you sleep. Now, our foot plantar flexes, which means the toes point away from you. And what happens here is that everything shortens up along the back of your leg and the bottom of your foot, and you're in that position for 6 to 8 hours. Now, combine the irritation and scar tissue buildup where the plantar fascia has been irritated, things are pretty tight when you wake up. Now, if you put your foot over the side of the bed in the morning and you stand, your heel drops, your arch falls, and things oftentimes re-tear. Now, it's very deceiving because we walk around a couple steps in the morning and things start to feel a little bit better, only because it's warming up, and unfortunately, you've already done the damage by that first step. So here's what you do. Only takes a couple seconds, but take 30 seconds to a minute when you wake up and massage out the bottom of your foot, massage out the back of your legs to warm things up a little bit, and then put a shoe directly beside your bed that has a little bit of a heel elevation and ideally a little bit of arch support. Not enough to have it down at the end of the bed and hobble down to those shoes. It's got to be the first step. Don't underestimate the importance of this first step. Even though it sounds very simple, it can make a huge difference. So one of the primary triggers for plantar fasciitis is tight, restricted muscles, soft tissue up into the lower leg and up into the hip. Your Achilles tendon attaches onto your heel bone, or your calcaneus, and your plantar fascia inserts onto the same bone, your calcaneus. So when the calf muscles get really tight, they pull up on the Achilles, which pulls up on the heel bone, which oftentimes can re-irritate that plantar fascia. So it's really important to work on your calves. So if you do have a heating pad at home, and if you don't, we strongly recommend getting one, just take 2 or 3 minutes in the evening, put a little bit of heat on your calves to warm things up, and then use your hands, use a ball, use a stick, use a foam roller to work into those calf muscles. Try to avoid rubbing the sore spot. It's kind of like poking the bear. You want to give things a chance to heal, but definitely working the areas above and around the sore spot are really important. Also, a great time to check in with your favorite massage therapist, chiro, physio, athletic therapist, or osteopath, because it's really hard to beat a good set of hands. They can also help to take care of something like compensation type walking that you've been doing to avoid that sore foot. Now, stretching can be very beneficial, but really be careful, especially in the early stages of plantar fasciitis, not to stretch too much in the morning or when things are cold. It's really easy to re-tear things. So we're really big fans of being barefoot. We're humans, we're meant to be barefoot. It's just not good to be barefoot when you're suffering from plantar fasciitis. So ideally, when the pain starts, we want to go into full-fledged protection mode, which we'll talk a little bit more about in our next point. At the same time, work on the source of the problem, which is oftentimes loosening things up above the sore spot. And then once the problem's gone away, gradually start removing some of that protection. Although a fallen arch isn't necessarily an indication of foot pain, the action of the arch falling actually stretches out the plantar fascia, which can irritate things when you're suffering from this condition. So using things like off-the-shelf or custom arch supports or taping when you're suffering from this condition can be really helpful. So by supporting the arch, we effectively shorten the plantar fascia and prevent strain on these areas. Now be sure to check our blog a little bit further down for our video on taping for plantar fasciitis. And for a more convenient option, consider using, again, an off-the-shelf or custom arch support. Now be careful because there's lots of really good off-the-shelf options available for arch support. So make sure if you're going the custom route, make sure it's truly custom. Now again, we see these things as more of a short-term tool while you're recovering. So especially if you're putting the time in to work on the source, you may only need them for a week or two. If I ever feel that little bit of plantar fasciitis coming on, I loosen up my calves, I put my orthotics in for a couple weeks, unload the area, put my shoes by my bed in the morning, and then once the pain goes away, I slowly start to remove the orthotics. Although lack of strength in the muscles surrounding the plantar fascia can certainly be a trigger, we find the best time to do strengthening work is oftentimes after the plantar fasciitis is healed to prevent the problem from coming back again. We see a number of plantar fasciitis cases coming through that unfortunately have been irritated by overly enthusiastic strengthening programs. So as important as it is, maybe leave it till afterwards, especially in those early acute phases. Okay guys, so here's just a quick summary if you feel that pain at the base of your heel coming on. Here's what you want to do. Number one, when you wake up in the morning, massage out your calves, massage out your foot, and put your foot directly into a shoe. Number two, get a heating pad, warm up your calves, and massage things out. Number three, don't be afraid to use the Band-Aids. Get the tape out, use those arch supports, protect things early on. And number four, once things have healed, do some strengthening work to prevent that problem from occurring again. So we hope that helps, guys, and as always, we'd love to hear back from you. Be sure to leave your comments below and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for listening.